This is how you spot a bot. Right? Boring. Number 2, they are rude as hell. They're horrible, vile, dirty, stinking monkey, vile. And 3, they are as verbose as AI. Hello, you little Doctor Who's Daleks and Dalegettes. Today I am talking about a very, very key issue, which is an update on the split. What's happening? The Emissaries told me all about it, and they give me a warning. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. Before we begin, I'd like to just make a public service announcement. Recently I talked about people who believed in a prison planet, and I said a few things that people took offence to. And I think in retrospect I probably got myself a little bit carried away because I'm very positive, you see. I'm very positive and I like things to be positive and I don't want people to feel bad and down and all of that. However, I'm sorry if I upset you by saying that you're a bit miserable and that you should keep it to yourself. You do what you want with it. You do what you want with it. Who am I to tell you what to do? So I'm sorry about that. And now let's move on to the split. Now, if you remember, a while ago, the Emissaries started talking about the split, right? They'd always talked about the Great Awakening. And then suddenly they started saying the split. And I was thinking, what's that about? And they explained that the split was basically a bifurcation where we're going to go off in one direction and the rest of the folks are going to go off in another direction. And that's just the way that it works, okay? Now, some people, there's been talk of like ascension and being carried off and taken off into spaceships. I've heard the lot. But the Emissaries just talked about this split that was going to happen. And they said that the split is going to be so natural. It's going to be a process that is so organic that we won't notice it. In fact, they said that we won't notice it happening. We'll only notice it that it's happened when we look back in retrospect. So natural will be the split. And then they stopped talking about it. They haven't mentioned it for ages. Granted, I haven't asked them. So I thought, hey, let's get an update on the split. And so I asked them, I said, hey, what's going on with the split? Where are we? How is it going? And they said it's going perfectly well. And now we're starting to get very clear demarcation lines between one group and another group. And I said to them, about how far are we down the split? I'm always asking this, And again, they tell me, I don't know whether they're humouring me or what, but they said we're about halfway. Okay, that's what they said. 50% down the split off. But bearing in mind that they said that we won't be able to see it happen in the way that we might imagine. It won't be, they said it's not a night-day thing. It's not an instant thing. It's very gradual. But then they issued me this warning, a warning that I'm going to share with everybody. And they said, be very careful at the moment. They said, because the energies are being given to the earthly realm, the energy of separation, the energy of giving you the energy to be able to step away from the other group. And for the other group to step away from us, remember, it works both ways, They want to get rid of us. They think we are off our rockers. Honestly, they look at us and go, man, I would never want to be them in my lifetime. And we look at them and think, man, I would never want to be them in my lifetime. So it's equal, it's shares. It's horses for courses. That's what it is. And so the emissary said, we've got to be very careful with this energy of division that is in the air at the moment. They said the reason for that is because if we're not careful, we can start dividing amongst ourselves as well. And we can start breaking into factions, as if it weren't already happening, but, in a bad way, and start hating on one another. And so they said, please be very careful. And they give me that advice, and then they give me the way that we avoid it. And the way that we avoid breaking ourselves into factions is to use a system that I was taught when I was learning NLP therapy. And the system is called chunking up. And chunking up is this. Somebody says to you, Oh my God, I've got this terrible problem. Oh my God, it means I'm going to have to spend lots and lots of time doing this. Oh my God. And the person says, yeah, but imagine, just think about how much you're going to learn from doing that. Right? There's the problem. Now I'm going to lift you up and above the problem. I'm going to give you some perspective. I'm going to future pace you if you want. And you're going to feel better. So instantly it takes you out of the problem, out of the details, right? That's where the devil is, isn't it? In the details. And you come out of the details and you look at the big picture, okay? That's what chunking up is all about. And the thing is, if we take all of the awakened people in the world, right? Everybody who's awake, I could get us all together. Man, that would be so wonderful, wouldn't it? We'd have all the awakened people. I'd need a big microphone and speaker system. And I said to them, hands up if you agree that this world is run by a bunch of stinking, manky, low-life bastards. Everybody would put their hands up. Why? Because we all know that. The world is filled with a bunch of stinking, manky, not monkey, eh? I've got nothing against monkeys. Not even the one in that video that I saw of the man with the monkey, but we'll not get back into that. So, stinking, manky, low-life bastards. Okay? Everybody would be in agreement. And then I said, so what we want is a better world that's set up with the intention of doing the very best for mankind. Hands up, who wants a better world designed with mankind in mind? And everybody would put their hand up. That's called chunking up. What I've done is I've talked about the two very top beliefs that everybody holds. Okay? We want a new world that's for us. The meek want to inherit the earth. Yes, indeed. And we want rid of the dirty, low-life, stinking, monkey bastards. Yes, that's it. That's as much as we need to agree on. As soon as we get into the details, as soon as we get into how that's going to happen, when it's going to happen, who's going to do it, as soon as we get into, well, what's outside of this world, how many dimensions are there, who talks to me, I'm downloading this and they taught me this. As soon as we get into the details, we are scattered. Everything goes to shit. Stay on the higher focus, on the higher goal, everything's fine. And that's what the emissary said to me. At the moment, because we've got a lot of division going on, and there's an energy of division, we have to keep reminding ourselves of our main goal. We have to keep reminding ourselves of our main belief. And we have to keep reminding one another. We're all the same. We're all the same. We all just want the very best. We want them to leave us alone. And we want to be able to build something beautiful. That's it. And so that's all that we need to do. If you want to go into the details, beautiful. I love going into the details. But then once you're there and you've done the bit that you want to do, chunk back out again. What the emissary said to me is, it would be as well that every time that you finish talking, that you remind yourself and remind others of the big goal. Yeah, because this world is run by people that we don't want anymore, beings that we don't want, and we just want a beautiful golden age. That's what we want. Who could argue about that? Nobody. Nobody wants to argue about that. That's what we want. How we get there? We could argue for 1,000,000 years. The fact is, the plan of how we get there is already written. It's already done. We don't need to worry about the details. All we need to focus on is what we want. And so, the details are great, but when we get into the details, remember they become very personal. They become very much us because of the way that we hold information, we understand information, we're all different, we've all got our filters and our biases and things like that. But the big picture is the big picture. That's all that we need to do. And so if you find yourself arguing with somebody about the details, like, for example, and I don't even believe that the people, the thing that we did, and I'm not going to say it because I think the videos get attacked. As soon as you say it, the bots go, oh, you said this word. You know, the earth, that's like that and not like that. Well, I don't believe that the people who come and comment, that I don't believe that the people, right? Because you can spot them 1,000,000 miles off. They are shit boring, number one. This is how you spot a bot, right? Shit boring. Number two, they are rude as hell. They're horrible, vile, dirty, stinking, manky, vile bastards. And three, they are as verbose as AI. They go on and on and on, far more than anybody. I would, if I had to write one of the posts that they write, I would lose the will to live halfway in. And so that's how I know that they're not people. But if you find yourself arguing with a real person, okay, about the details of, and they're awake and you're awake, just remember, just go ka-ching, no. And then all you have to do, it disarms people, you know, when somebody, as soon as you can get, it's called the yes set in sales. If you can get somebody to say yes twice, they're going to say yes a third time. It's just what the body does. And so you say, hey, but I bet you agree that the world is ruled by some horrible people. And they go, of course I agree. And I bet you agree that really all that we want is a world that's designed for us, a perfect world for us. People go, of course, yes. That's it. Suddenly you're in agreement again. The yes set. It's a very powerful thing, used a lot in hypnosis, is it not? And I think you would probably agree with that, wouldn't you? So, tell me, have you found yourself caught in a bit of an argument in the details? And how did you manage to get out of it? How did you manage to resolve it? Did you chunk up? Or did you run away screaming? Let me know in the comments. I love you all and I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.